Hello everybody and welcome to Storycraft. Our theme is mice and we're going to be reading this story, The Very Noisy Night, and then we are going to be creating a heart-shaped mouse. Okay, so The Very Noisy Night by Diana Hendry, illustrated by Jane Chapman. Dutton Children's Books, New York, is the publisher. It was the middle of the night, and Big Mouse was fast asleep in his big bed. Little Mouse was wide awake in his little bed. Big Mouse, called Little Mouse. I can hear something rushing around the house, huffing and puffing. Big Mouse opened one eye and lifted one ear and said, "It is only the wind." "Can I come into your bed?" asked Little Mouse. "No," said Big Mouse. "There isn't any room." And he turned over and he went back to sleep. Little Mouse lay listening to the wind. Then suddenly, between a huff and a puff, came a tap, 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 tap. Little Mouse climbed out of bed, opened the front door just a crack, and peeped out. Whoosh went the wind, but there was no one outside. Big Mouse, called Little Mouse. I can hear someone tapping. I think there's a burglar on the roof. Big Mouse got out of bed and opened the bedroom curtains. "Look," he said. "It's only a branch tapping on the window. Now go back to sleep." "Can I come into your bed?" asked Little Mouse. "No," said Big Mouse. "You wriggle around too much." Little Mouse lay in his own bed and listened to the wind huffing and puffing and the branch tapping and someone calling, "Hoo, hoo, hoo, hoo." Little Mouse climbed out of bed again. This time he looked under it. Then he looked in the wardrobe, and feeling very frightened, he yelled, Big Mouse, I think there's a ghost in the room, and it's looking for someone. It keeps calling, who, 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 who?" Big Mouse sighed, sat up and listened, and said, "It is only an owl. It stays up all night, just like you." "Can I come into your bed?" asked Little Mouse. "No," said Big Mouse. "Your paws are always cold." Big Mouse pulled the blanket over his head and went back to sleep, and Little Mouse got back into his own bed. Little Mouse sat up and listened to the wind huffing and puffing, and the branch tapping, and the owl hooting. But shh! What was that noise? He heard drip, 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 drip. Big Mouse, he called. "I think it's raining outside." And Little Mouse jumped out of bed and fetched his red umbrella. Big Mouse got out of bed again, too. He opened the front door to see if it was even raining at all. Then Big Mouse went into the kitchen and turned off the dripping faucet. He gently pried the umbrella out of Little Mouse's paws and put it away. "Can I come into your bed?" asked Little Mouse. "No, you are nice and snug in your own bed," said Big Mouse, taking him back to his bedroom. Little Mouse lay and listened to the wind huffing and puffing, to the branch tapping, to the owl hooing. And just as he was beginning to feel very sleepy indeed, he heard, wee, wee, wee. Big Mouse, he called, "You're snoring." Wearily, Big Mouse got up. He put his earmuffs on little Mouse's ears. He put a paper clip on his own nose, and he went back to bed. Let's see if that works. Little Mouse lay and listened for a while, but with the earmuffs on, he heard nothing. It was very, very, very quiet. He could not hear the wind huffing, or the branch tapping, or the owl hooting, or Big Mouse snoring. It was so quiet that Little Mouse felt he was all alone in the world. He took off the earmuffs. He got out of bed and pulled the big paper clip off of Big Mouse's nose. Big Mouse, he cried, I'm lonely. Big Mouse flung back his blanket and said, all right, you better come into my bed, he said. So Little Mouse hopped in, and his paws were cold. And he needed just a little wriggle before he fell fast asleep. Well, Big Mouse lay and listened to the wind, huffing and puffing, and the branch tapping, and the owl hooting, and Little Mouse snuffling, and very soon he heard the birds waking up, but neither of them heard the alarm clock because they were both fast asleep. I guess it turned into a very quiet day, right? Because they were all asleep then during the day. And that's The Very Noisy Night by Diana Hendry. Okay. Sometimes you have nights like that, right, where you can't sleep at all. All right. So you will have, for your craft part, you will have a bag. And in your bag are a bunch of different things. I'll pull them out and show them to you. Get everything out here. Okay. So in your bag is a big heart shape. This will be used for the mouse's body. You will have a piece of yarn for the tail. You will have an eye for the eye. You will have a bunch of assorted hearts for different things and one teeny tiny heart. Okay, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Let me tip this down so you can see the video. All right, the craft part. You need some glue and you will need a marker. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to fold your heart in half like that and make sure you crease it. Okay, so you just press it on the table and put a little crease in it. And then down this crease on the inside, you are going to put some glue. So we're going to put some glue on there. I'm using a tacky glue with a stick, just because it's a little easier in the video, but you can use whatever type of glue you have at home. Okay. And then you are going to take the yarn and you are going to put it across with the yarn sticking out of the big part of the heart like this. So it goes inside the front, but it sticks out the big part of the heart. Okay, so you're just going to glue that into the middle. This way it just stays there. Okay, and then when it's in there, you are going to put glue on one side of the inside of the heart. So you're the perimeter of the heart right here on the inside. So you're going to put glue on one side like that. This way you stick it together and hold it just like this. So I'm going to just do that now. Glue sometimes gets very messy, right? I'm making a mess over here. Okay, so you're going to glue that together just like that. Oh, get some of that glue off my hands. Okay, don't put on too much glue like I just did. There's a book called Too Much Glue. You should read that one. All right. Then you can take the eye and put some glue on there and then stick it on like this. Okay. And then you can choose which color heart that you want for the tail, and that goes right on this end of the yarn here. So you'll just glue it just like we did the big heart for the mouse. So put it on the heart, not the yarn, the glue. This way it sticks better with the paper. And then you stick the yarn inside and you just snap that closed and press it for a minute. Boy, I'm putting too much glue on here. It'll be nice and sticky. And then you can make, there are other hearts in there, you can make little ears. So you can choose a heart that you like, any size, any color you want. There are different colors in your package. And you can put it on with it sticking up just a little. And then there's a teeny tiny heart in your bag. You can add that to the middle too. Just like that. And then you can use your marker to just draw a little nose on it. So it looks like this. Okay? All right, well, thank you very much for joining me today during our Storycraft, and have a great afternoon. Bye now.